Greetings, I'm Nice.
And I am Scandal.
And let's grow a garden together.
Yes. Let's grow Corona gardens together.
Let's grow Corona gardens. So
let's grow a victory garden. Screw that.
Right, Corona victory gardens. So, you know.
Just a victory garden.
Victory over? Social victory gardens.
Yay! Social distancing gardens.
Social distancing gardens. If I plant enough layers of peas, you can't get to me anymore.
Hello. Goodbye.
All right, so here we are. Got a lot done today, at least. Just wish I didn't have the Sword of
Damocles. Whoa, that is a reference.
I don't know that reference.
God knows. I'm like, I know what it is. It's one of those things where you know about it, but I don't remember what it's from.
It's basically like you're damned in some fashion, right? Like there's judgment hanging over you. All right, we're gonna look this up real quick. And while my friend uses the great and powerful Google here, I am gonna be like, we've actually had a lot of thoughts in this game overall. Some of it's been more fun than others. Some of it's been more thought-provoking. But in general, like, I would say, while you're inside trying to take care of yourself, do consider growing some food for yourself as it's possible, whether it's in a container plant or like a window box, or if you have some lawn.
Damocles. Damocles is a character who appears in an anecdote commonly referred to as the Sword of Damocles, an allusion to the imminent and ever-present peril faced by those in positions of power.
Okay.
You are not in a position of power entirely, my dear Lily. That's why I was like, really? The Sword of Damocles is a little intense. Right. Damocles was an obsequious courtier in the court of Dionysius II of Syracuse, a 4th century BC ruler of Syracuse, Sicily.
Okay, so what is the thing reference to?
I just said an allusion.
No, meaning what does it mean? Are you going that I'm about to have my head cut off? When you say the colloquialism, what does it imply?
According to the story, so this is the whole background of the Sword of Damocles. According to the story, Damocles was pandering to Dionysus, his king, and explained to him that Dionysus was truly fortunate as a man of great power and authority, surrounded by magnificence. In response, Dionysus offered to switch places with Damocles for one day so that Damocles could taste that very fortune firsthand. Damocles quickly and eagerly accepted the king's proposal. Damocles sat down on the king's throne, surrounded by every luxury, but Dionysus, who had made many enemies during his reign, arranged that a huge sword should be hung above the throne, held at the pommel only by a single hair of a horse's tail, to evoke the sense of what it is like to be king. Which this is incredibly exaggerated and wow! Though having much fortune, because, complete imbalance of power and extreme sovereignty over this is ridiculous. Okay, I'm
fine. It's fine, that's what it is.
Though having much fortune, always having to watch in fear and anxiety against dangers that might try to overtake him, Damocles finally begged the king that he be allowed to depart because he no longer wanted to be so fortunate, realizing that with great fortune and power comes also great danger.
Okay, so for me, I would tend to say that while there's a lot that could be unpacked there, I get what she's talking about. She's like, basically the axe could fall at any moment. So that's the reference. But then I would also say, okay, that just... God, I forgot my reference. I was like, I got this. I don't got this. I was just going to be like...
Sword of Damocles, kings.
No, hold on.
I'm trying to help.
I know, I got this. I wish I didn't have the Sword of Damocles hanging over my head. It just made me think of this idea that... in capitalism, or like with people gathering money or people becoming incredibly rich, that kind of thing. It made me think of the fact that the way we have our capitalistic model is we drive people to basically almost insanity with the need for money for safety. Going that if any point the stocks crash, if at any point money doesn't mean something, if at any point basically some other thing comes into place, it will never be enough money. If at any point it's an emergency but there are no doctors available because 900 billion people are sick and there's no hospitals, then money won't save me unless it's enough, unless it's 900 billion, unless it's 10 trillion, unless it's 100 gazillion. And so there's this experience of going, we're told to get money to keep ourselves safe, and to a point it really genuinely will help you with your life. Like, money can make you happy as far as basic worries are concerned. But once you get to the point of will money solve your problems, going, how much is enough? There is no enough when we teach people to go into the business of capitalism, whether it's starting our own businesses or working for ourselves, that there never is a sense of safety because our society itself isn't standing on a firm grounds where money is a completely reliable thing, which is why it changes value in reference to other monies all the time. And again, money itself doesn't represent anything valuable. So if you ever hit a point where food is what people need, water is what people need, money won't do you any good unless there's a prospective idea that it could be valuable in the future. And so there's always this fear. So that's what that reminded me of. Of basically extremely rich people and people going, why don't they share their money? Because we're taught that it's never enough.
Yes.
Period. We're taught that it's never enough, and you're never actually safe.
Yeah.
All right.
And just don't make them angry, or they won't give you any money anymore at all.
I don't agree with that statement, but that's fine. I know that you read it and it was inflammatory at the time. Maybe the answer will come to me in a dream tonight.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. 3:02 a.m. Make a sharp left up here, Larry. Put the pedal to the metal. Does she actually talk in her sleep? I want to know.
She seems to.
Oh, God. Here we go. Never thought I'd team up with my arch nemesis to rob a bank.
Nemesis. It's nemesis.
Both of them. It's two of them, right? Of course, to rob a bank.
Why defraud somebody for money when you can just steal it directly?
Yeah, you guys are right. You'll never catch me, coppers. I wonder if she does actually talk in her sleep. Like, for sure. I'm curious about it.
It would be interesting.
Day 11. Day 11. Here we go. All right. Good morning, garden.
I thought I said good morning garlic for 2 seconds.
Good morning, garlic. I love garlic. Can't you smell the garlic in the air? Actually, growing garlic is pretty easy, and the garlic shoots the green, bits, flavor things just like garlic and are crunchy like scallions, so it can be kind of a cool thing. Like if you I've talked about growing stuff in pots, like if you wanted to grow garlic in pots, even if you just eat the greens, it's really cool.
Yes.
Sorry to have you wait your turn. I'm going over to Luke's today. Oh, are we?
I feel like I'm gonna be a jerk and then be like, all right, then we should do everything involving the garden and skip out on Luke's crap.
Right. Sometimes I do feel like I'm not getting the whole picture of this with him. I mean, you barely talk to him. But he does seem like a good guy under the engine grease and that 5 o'clock shadow, neither of which makes someone a not good guy, so you know.
I'm like, hi.
I'll just have to keep trusting my gut, which honestly is usually a horrible idea, and it's a better idea to actually think about your information.
Yeah,
so,
please.
Examine your life.
Critical think.
Think about why you have the feelings you have.
And what they are in reference to and what kind of associations you have, and yeah.
Make informed choices. Oh. Huh? The truck is gone. It's
the
kid!
It's the daughter.
It's the kiddo! Hey there! Whoa, you are blurry as hell, my dear. And your daughter is a salty, angry child.
We don't know. Maybe they don't identify as such. No, but we don't know what they identify as such. We know they are a
salty, angry child. That's all I said.
Daughter.
I thought I said and your
child.
And
I did it too. It's fine. We both did it.
Anyway, he said daughter, so that's all we've got. That is a very angry person. Hey there! Whoa. You have the little gap front teeth. How old are you supposed to be? Like, you look like you're dressed like a 14, 15-year-old, but the swinging arms thing is a little wild. What's your name?
What's your name?
Karen, right. I'm Lily. I live right next door. Oh, you must be Karen. Luke's daughter? Nice to meet you.
Oh, no.
Huh.
Yeah?
How old are you supposed to be, dear?
Yeah,
Where's Luke? I mean, your dad.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, his truck is gone, my dude. Why don't I call your dad and we can hang out together until he gets here? That's a little presumptuous.
You do not know this child at all.
You should totally be like, do you need anything? Are you okay? Okay, so this is actually something I talked about in another episode, and I don't think I'm not sure if I talked about it in Lily's Garden or not, but basically sometimes people have a problem, and other people who are trying to help them will get frustrated but they won't take my help. And I talked about how sometimes the help people need isn't what you think they need. It isn't what you're offering. So this child may or may not need help or support in any fashion right now. She might just be waiting and be fine. I'm just going to call she because daughter has been identified, and I'll go from there until she can tell us, until the individual can tell us something otherwise. I assume the game is fairly linear in that way, unfortunately.
Yes.
But on the other hand, some people identify as women. I do. And I was born that way as well, and it happens occasionally.
I know cis people exist.
Nope, they don't exist. None of us exist. It would be fine if we didn't exist. 9,000 genders, and you just get to pick a new one daily. Saxophone is a good gender. Honestly, they're just performative social roles, so as far as I've seen with genders in some societies, that basically your job is your gender, and since your social role is essentially your social job, like what's your gender? Road construction? Like, honestly, it works. As much as people might make jokes about it. But in this case, offering to help somebody with something you have come up with isn't always as helpful as asking them what would help them.
Right.
And when you can go, hey, let me do this thing for you, that might not be the thing that will solve their problem for them at all, even if it's what you can think of. So it's a really good thing to ask them an open-ended question about what they want or need.
There's also a problem that I'm having here, too, is just being like, she's literally just going, I'm going to direct this, and I don't even know how old you are or whatever else, and this feels very
I don't know why you're here. But I basically have no connection to you.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's supposed to be a teenager. Okay then. Let's call Luke.
Why?
Yeah, his truck is totally gone. I don't know.
Also,
'Cause I
we
came
didn't
over
have
to
a
help.
plan at all for this.
We didn't. It was come over and help, quote. Let's see if I can get a hold of your dad. You just said that.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
you just said that. Why did you go over there again? Like, hey, Luke. Ring, ring, ring.
Banana
ring, ring,
phone.
ring. Ring, 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 ring. No
That's because
answer.
I have his phone. I know. I tried calling him before. He probably left his phone here.
He does do that. Do you want to see your dog? Oh, you could have told me that. I could have asked that. Why?
I could have not assumed.
We
anything.
haven't established much, have we, at all, in fact. Okay, what about your
Is
mom?
this going to be the surly teenager who's very grumpy because their parents are getting a divorce or did get a divorce?
I don't know.
Because, okay, so
I'm
I
tired
have
of that
read.
trope.
Yes, so I have read so much in regards to fiction. And granted, I don't have any experience with this, but sometimes, just as an outsider, in a lot of cases, I was like, my god, for people who got divorces, I was like, good. You guys freaking hate each other. You do not get along.
Be together, don't be together.
You're torturing basically your family. You're torturing yourself in that sense. And most of the time, it would really just come down to the people. Are you happy? Well, no. Then why are you together?
Well, I'm here because of my child. Have you never socialized your child to want you to be happy, or to want parents that are happy, or a home environment that is happy? But everybody's here. It feels like a D&D party sometimes, of going, we can't ever let anyone leave the party ever, because the only goal is to keep everyone together. Doesn't matter if they hate each other, doesn't matter if they have new jobs, doesn't matter if they have different quests, doesn't matter if they don't have interests that align anymore. Just keep them all together no matter what.
I love it where you have talked about your GMing stories in regards to being there was apparently a player that my friend Lies here actually played with several years ago, many years ago actually, when their early GMing days, and they were just super obsessed with basically keeping the party together.
And
but
every
then
time
they're apparently, to me, the way that they've described this story to me is then it's just oh yeah, we'll just trade you people. And then the same, really player was just yeah, okay, well if we need anything, we'll just give you people.
Right.
And you're just but you've been super obsessed with keeping the party together, and then you're willing to trade other sentient beings. What?
It's fine. There
To
was explanation.
NPCs.
It was justified at the time. Somebody had experienced an event that was something like what we might call cloning, or cellular division. So there were multiple copies. So of course we can trade one. It's fine.
Because you just have extras. You just sort of farm them off to people, being
Right.
here's for you.
She doesn't know you're here, does she? You're not asking this kid any questions. You're not being respectful of this child. Okay, so for me, who has been disrespected a lot as a child, or unseen or unheard or talked over or not listened to, and I have seen a lot of other kids have it happen to them kind of thing. For me, I'm listen to kids. Kids are excellent. They are lacking, they're just lacking some social context. They're whole complex people. They might not know everything they need to know, quote, but so do most adults. We also don't know everything we need to know, okay? If you are a child, you are valid, you should be listened to. However, then you start a dialogue after you listen to the child, going, some of that either 1, doesn't sound accurate, 2, sounds like an exaggeration, or 3, going, from what I understand. That way you don't invalidate anything they say. You just say, I have different information.
Right.
And then going, this is the thing, and then what can we do to work together to solve this problem? On the other hand, this child might not be having a problem at all. We might have just walked up to a teen who was literally waiting for something that they knew was going to happen and went, honey, are you okay? It's frustrated me so many times, being if a child is hanging out somewhere, a bunch of well-meaning adults will walk up and be like, you need something. And it's so many teenagers that I've ever known are I will try and look as off-putting and disrespectful as possible, so you don't come up to me and try and solve my problem when I'm literally just waiting for a ride from my mom and I don't have to tell 15 people that's what I'm doing.
Because I'm fine, thank you.
It's fine.
For asking before you assume. Whatever happened to don't talk to strangers?
Yeah, well, there's that, dear.
What if you're a kidnapper?
If you are missing teeth, you are not a teenager.
No.
You are under teen. You are maybe 10. The last tooth usually comes out about 10 or 11. So if you've got a missing tooth and it's not, and you're showing the oversized front teeth, you are 10 or 11 at oldest, based on what I know of anatomy. All right. I'm not a... Excuse me for approaching you poorly. Sure, your dad will be back soon. Do you want me to help with some stuff while we wait? What stuff?
What?
What would this kid have connection to of stuff?
Lily!
you're just gonna, yes, wait for the adult in my life.
Oh my god. There's
just
nothing
gonna-
wrong with Karen being on their phone, okay?
That's all. This child can be on their phone as much as they want, and in fact, they could be giving updates to people about what they're doing and where they are, and even cataloging Lily as a stranger that has approached them to keep themselves safe in case anything does happen. Like, phones can be incredibly useful devices, all
I
right?
hate technology shaming, by the way.
Me too. You're just gonna be on your phone. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do some work. Like, there's no reason this kid has to help you with work either. This thing where everybody goes, I've walked up to another person who's here. You should help me do what I plan to do that I've scheduled for, and then I never
We're really
to be
going
involved.
to try to drag her into this.
Why?
Or them into this. I genuinely, this is annoying. Like,
Have
solidly.
you ever, wait, been over here before?
What?
Do you think he moved here after they got divorced? Like, when did we
We
get
don't
that
have
impression?
enough information at
Don't
all.
we think if his wife left him, it sounded like to me that they had all lived here together and then his wife left and took their daughter. Like, I don't know if that's the wrong impression, because honestly, again, we haven't talked to him that much or gotten any details, but like, why would this kid have not been here before? As far as we knew, this is where they lived, except for, again, the house is a wreck, so maybe he bought it after they broke up, but he was super unclear and we never asked. Have you ever been over here before?
No.
Apparently he got a place to stay when they broke up.
Assuming that Karen isn't just being like, no, as in stop talking to me.
Right. Well, maybe that's good. Look at all these stinging nettles, because I need your interaction and validation. Why can't you just let the kid be like, okay?
It's not good.
Oh, I didn't mean, yeah, well, you sounded like it, dear. You sound very dismissive. I'm just going to get rid of these. Yep.
Lily, oh my god, this is, okay, so of all the awkward interactions we've had in regards to this game, this has to rank amongst some of the worst.
This is pretty bad. Honestly, like you are, now, you don't have kids. I have seen a lot of adults, if Lily was an only child and has never worked around kids or taken care of kids, a lot of people can get socialized that kids are an obstacle to deal with rather than a person. And the people that I knew that had a lot of siblings or did a lot of daycare were way more sympathetic to kids being people than a lot of like the only children who are on their own. On the other hand, some people really just pick it up anyways, but there is this strong social thing of going, if a child is here, I need to direct them in some fashion because I'm an adult. It's like they're just, let them do their thing. It's okay.
Like, please.
This is a lot of opinions, and if anyone's listening and they're a parent, they might go, well, that's not how I do things, and that's fine. These are my personal opinions, but I'm frustrated with how people
You've
seem
also
to
done
objectify
study.
kids.
You went to college for psychology,
Psychology.
so...
And I did take children's psych, and it was really fascinating, but also just watching people, it's like, you don't treat kids like people. There's this author that I love called Alfie Conan. I'll try to link him below. I love a lot of his work where he pointed out at one point that it is possible to go into a store and walk down what is a considerable offering of parenting books and not realize that an incredible amount of real research has been done on the subject of parenting, of raising human beings, even not necessarily as a parent, and what makes a good, balanced, healthy, internally motivated and stable human being.
Right.
And that all of your parenting books are basically anecdotal. What was most successful at controlling my child for me? What could make you control your child for you? And anyway, a lot of his books that I've tried to share with people going, hey, this is a cool way to understand people and how we all develop. Like when I read Unconditional Parenting, for me, it made me feel really good as an adult going, this is so informative as to how people usually handle children, what it normally does to our psychological state having grown into adults, and then basically who I have become today, and gave me a really good platform to work from, but also gave me a lot of please treat people with respect, because a lot of people aren't raising adults, they're raising kids, which means they're still a kid when they get to being adult age.
Here's a wild thought.
Huh.
Why don't we, just sort of a weird aside, kind of here in public note, how about we actually go and read part of Alfie Conan's thing, or at least kind of as a preview on our Lies and Scandal
We could
Lit
totally
channel.
do some Unconditional Parenting on our Lies and Scandal Lit channel. That'd be super cool. All right, so we do have a Lit channel. It has not been as active as we've had a lot of family stuff going on, but the studio we use is closed down for the coronavirus.
Dang, it is just boom,
It is
gone.
down. Yeah, we will probably work on that. Anyway, I'm just gonna get rid of these. I'm not full of rants as everyone gets anxious. It's fine. I will just, you know what, maybe Karen will be more impressed or more comfortable with us, or at least curious, as we magically unnettle all the nettles right in front of their face.
And with no gloves or anything. 'Cause
No
you are a
gloves,
warlock.
no anything, just poof, goodbye nettles. Wow, that was an amazing transformation.
Whoa.
Your ankles should be safe now. I mean, they're wearing, clothing on their ankles, so
Okay.
it would really have hurt to brush against one of those.
Where's my dad?
I ate him. I mean, yeah, that's supposed to be a joke. I don't know, sweetie. Don't call them sweetie. You have no right to endearment on a strange child.
You really don't.
Like, in my opinion. Okay, so if it's culturally like a thing where some people just say honey and darling for absolutely everyone, and they're just being friendly, fine. But she doesn't use it that much, so I feel like for her, she's going, I will try and use a friendly pet name to you, a child, because you're a child. So for her, as far as her character is developed, I'm irritated with this interaction. Bleh. Oh, I'm sorry.
Ugh.
Yes, well, again, so it's fine. We're fine. This is fine.
You could always try calling him again, because that nettle doing probably took maybe about
an hour, couple hours, sometime later. All right, we're gonna do the trees. These trees are a little out of control. I should give the branches a little trim. I'll just fly up there and round out the tops. Snip, snip, snip. Why are you still talking to
Why
them?
are you engaging with the child?
Why are you trying to, like, weirdly parent this child? Do you like climbing trees? You're not babysitting, Lily.
I don't know.
You don't know if you like climbing trees, which is a fine question to ask a child you're actually involved with to try and get them out of a disengaged cycle. Someone you are familiar with and who knows you well, going, you're not even listening to my question, you're just being grumpy, and I'm going to try and pull you out of it. But with a child that is a stranger, with a person that is a stranger, it's way too familiar, and I feel it's inappropriate.
Yes.
So this is Liz gets grumpy. Well, maybe your dad gets back. We can find a nice strong branch for you to climb up to and figure out what you like.
Oh my god. Why, lady? Go away. Nah.
Sheesh. It's almost like you're a stranger and you have no right to be prying into their business. And they're in a hard time in their life. Holy crap.
Like, you have no context. They could also be way better if people wouldn't keep shoving it in their face. So sometimes...
What are we cutting? What were we
What
cutting
was that
over
cutting?
there? We were just trimming the cars. It's fine.
What was that?
Right? We were just, like, we were over here just trimming the cars.
Trimming cars.
Oh, look. There's Dog. It's Dad. You mean Dog?
It's Dad.
Oh, okay.
Dad.
There's also Dad. He took Dog with him. Okay. Hi.
Munchkin, what are you doing here?
I ran away.
I came to see you.
Oh, they look so
Oh,
hopeful.
they ran away from home. How did you get here? I took the bus. I'm so happy to see you. This lady wouldn't stop talking to me.
It's true. I wouldn't.
Yeah, she's a talker.
It's true.
Thanks, Lily.
For what?
What?
For annoying your kid for several hours? Yeah, of course. I just didn't want to leave her alone.
She is not an object. This
You know?
is a person. So again, I am going to go on here with my friend Lies, as I found it to be very frustrating. Where people are not treating children as if they are developing, processing, learning human beings who are going to be involved in an adult world. If you treat them like they're idiots, or like they're objects, or like they have no agency, or whatever it is, if you just pick up your child, if you just beat your child, you can just insist on some sort of behavioral experience just appearing because it will exist. I got into an argument with a guy I remember at work, and I will open up. I don't have kids, but for me it was really irritating to listen to him go, well, yeah, if the kids won't listen to you, just take away their stuff. Like, if they won't stop playing games or whatever else. And I'm like,
So-
you take away their crap, you do it. Those kids end up exactly like I did with my parents. My parents were taking stuff away from me. You know what you learned? Come on, everybody in the crowd, say it with me.
You learn how to hide your stuff.
You do, and you learn how to basically lie better, and you learn how to basically not share better. It is not about going, oh yeah, your kids will just learn how to open up to you as you violate their space and violate their time and tell them they're not worth it, basically by invading them all the time and taking away their coping mechanisms that you as an adult also constantly use.
So-
Like, I hate this thing where people are like, well, those kids, they're all on their phones all the time, and it's like, so are you! You're on Facebook all the damn time, and you're on your phone all the time texting your friends or your family, and they're not allowed to do it? Well, they have stuff to do. So do you!
It's true. And the thing is like, so this has been human decency to the younger crowd with Lies and Scandal.
Like,
this is
damn!
not like, if this is your first episode with us, we do have opinions, but like, this is a particularly inflammatory episode where there's a lot going on here. And in the way that we've talked about some tropes and stereotypes in this game that we don't find to be particularly like palatable or desirable,
Right.
this is not a really good way to treat kids. And unless we're going to have some sort of nod to the fact that this is poor treatment, where Luke isn't pointing it out at all yet, it's really unhelpful because we can't really see Lily's character develop in reference to you didn't treat my child like a person, you treated them like an object, if it's not pointed out at some point.
Right. And again, we both totally understand that this is fantasy and this is not reality.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things that we want. One of our biggest goals in regards to our channel is actually using basically fantastical situations that you find in video games as basically a jumping off point for conversation, as a podcast kind of thing.
Right.
You know?
And one of the things about this is that while you can do whatever you want in fiction. Sometimes people don't have a good sense of what's ridiculous fiction or what's, improbable fiction and what's just, hey, this is how people act kind of fiction.
Right.
In the same way that I have bitched off about adults have poor representation in fiction that's directed towards a younger audience.
Right.
Kids often have incredibly poor representation in fiction that is directed towards adults. And so there is this gap, even though we are the same species and we are creating and raising each other between this, what we perceive to be adults and what we perceive to be children. And it is really important that people are able to write both if they're going to write both. Consult someone, talk to people. And if you aren't interested in doing a healthy representation, that's fine, but make sure that that's a clear piece of it and not just a weird aside.
Right?
Like, it's fine for Lily to be completely tone deaf and not know how to treat a kid if that's who she is.
Right. Or it's again that fact of being like, so it's one of those reasons like why fanfiction authors will actually have a ton of warnings. So like if you ever go to AO3 and you ever look up fanfiction, so Archive of Our Own, they have a lot of tags on there, and those tags are specifically so you can figure out the content that's in there. And a lot of fanfiction writers actually are really well versed in what is and isn't okay in terms of like for a real life situation. They're going, yeah, in this situation the kid gets bullied around a lot and there's neglect and there's this thing. And then some people, I watch them, like there'll be commenters going, how dare you have this? And it's like, but I warned you about this, and this is the subject I wanted to cover, or what I'm just writing about, because that's what I want to do with my time.
Alrighty. Yeah, of course. I just didn't want to leave her alone,
You have to call Mom.
Did he say he was going to call Mom?
He didn't, actually.
He didn't at all.
Yeah, buddy, I do. We'll both get in a lot of trouble if I don't.
Legally, yes.
Yes.
Actually, yes.
Like, dear God.
Running away is a big legal, awareness piece. It's an important thing.
However, that is also an important thing to log, because then if your child is running away from one parent to go see another parent,
that's an important thing to be aware of.
That is something that the judge or somebody basically, or your social services or whoever's involved in your case needs to know about, because there's some need that's not being met here in regards to this child's needs. This person's needs.
Yep. This whole person isn't being, cared for in some way. And they might be being dramatic, but it's appropriate to bring in professional help and go, what needs to change here?
Right. Okay, your mom's on her way. But we can hang out for a little bit until she gets here.
Whoa.
Yay!
You also haven't said hello to your dog. Do you not like the dog either? If I'd been away from my dog for months, not only would the dog be all over me and be like, yes, I love you, but I would be after the dog.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's really an unreal dog. Wow, this video game dog is a really unreal dog.
This fake dog is a really fake dog!
Ha! Me and Lily are going to try to fix the place up. Want to see? I thought you were just going to hang out. The kid...
You can hang out while we work. You could just do something with your kid. Alright.
Sure, dude.
Or you could do something on your own, and Luke could hang out with his kid. Sure, let's repair the fence.
Oh my God.
Is she gonna be involved in this?
She is.
Alright. So...
We were gonna work on the fence. Wanna help? Okay.
She just wants to hang out with her dad and not strange ladies who are meddling in her business.
No kidding. Never known you to be excited about this kind of stuff.
She just misses you.
That's
okay?
I really miss you.
Whoa, none of these are as solid as the fence that was before. I get that the metal fencing isn't as high budget as a lot of people think, but your corrugated metal fencing kind of thing is really a privacy fence.
Right.
All of these are barely there comparatively. It's a wild change.
Especially for having a dog. Please don't let your dog run around and then get hit by a car.
Right. Or just, be delinquent and, unspayed or neutered, what have you.
Right. Or potentially the dog going, it's my territory. Let's attack the person.
Right? Or I'm just going to go out and, hurt my paws and burn them up on the road.
So, how you doing, Munchkin?
I'm not feeling negative. How are you?
Fine. Everybody probably keeps freaking asking that question. You're like, I'm going to go insane past a point.
No one can say anything, but are you okay? Are you okay?
Okay.
Are you okay? How are you doing?
Okay. It's just, I haven't seen you for,
And you didn't even hug your kid, if that's a thing you do in your family.
It's okay. That's why I came to visit.
Because I'm caretaking for my dad.
Please don't have an emotional support child. I
Oh.
hate that in reality, and I hate it in fiction. Holy crow. Okay, want to hear about my birthday party?
Aye.
Oh
dear.
right. Yeah, oh, you forgot. Sure, Munchkin, tell me all about it, which is fine. I understand sometimes when people get stressed out, they do not need to remember everything. It is a difficult thing. Sometimes we're being like, I cannot balance my life.
Additionally, some people don't celebrate birthdays and other holidays in the same way to things. There's always seems to be in stories this universal idea that everyone will relate to, that you missed a birthday, you missed an anniversary, okay? Not everyone thinks they're important in the same way. Like, I've never done anything for my birthday since moving out of my mom's house, like, period. Bar none, I don't freaking care. And when other people remember it, I often go, oh yeah, interesting. It's not an important occasion for me.
Right? Okay, so
listen to the story. No. We're going to clean up porch while she talks to her dad, please? We'll clean up the porch by ourselves. No. No, we won't.
Why?
Why? Because we're supposed to do it in the other order, I guess.
How about the porch? Pretty boring, right?
Or just pretty messy.
What? No, I like it.
Aw.
Luke, what is your problem? Look, you like it? It's a mess, Munchkin.
Look, there's
Tell
a
me that
pattern.
I'm a mess and that I'm a terrible dad and that I'm awful. Like, you really are looking for basically support from your child.
We have a terracotta pot sitting in a bush, which is an amazingly bold choice, by the way.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
Maybe I like messes. Mom hates messes.
It's true. You do have different personalities.
Yeah, she does. Hey, how's school?
What about your birthday?
It's summer vacation.
Yeah, well,
Right, yeah. You should tell me what you've been up to since you got out of school.
You mean like my birthday party?
You want to help me decorate the porch?
And leave it the same?
Okay, but no kid stuff.
Because I am not a small, helpless child.
Sure, no kid stuff. You're 9 years old, after all.
Spot on, I had it. I was
Yay,
like 9 or
good job.
10. You got it.
I'm 10, Dad.
Of course.
Right, yeah, 10.
You know what? It's also okay. Again, they're making a big social deal out of it, but that doesn't have to be a big deal. That still looks like a mess. Like with your ivy and stuff.
Yeah, it
But
looks
also,
pretty, but it's a
what are
mess.
these growing in? Just straight flat on the boards?
That's terrifying.
Like your white flowers, what are they growing in? We just have them sitting up there. They're air plants. It's fine.
Oh, God.
That feels like it takes up too much room on the porch.
They all do.
They really do. It's not a very big porch. This one's fine to me. Like the bench you could actually kind of use. Like that one is I will be by myself. This is more social.
Yeah.
And this one's probably like just too crowded for me.
Yeah.
So that's a place you could sit with your kid if that's your goal.
Right?
Where are we buying this stuff if we're all broke? We just built a bench. It's fine. We just got some plants. It's fine. Oh, here she is.
Mom.
Excellent. And she won't load either. Amazing.
Well, we're getting a little bit late in here, so we appreciate actually Rachel popping on the screen. Hi,
Yes.
Rachel. Nice to meet you. So thank you very much for joining us, guys. If you like what we do, please feel free to pop over, check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We got links down below. And if you also like what we do, feel free to also like, comment, and subscribe. We love talking to people. It is a great time. And also, again, communication is important in times of the coronavirus because while isolating is a good thing, we understand that it can be hard and sometimes you just want to talk.
We are social creatures and it's good to stay connected.
Absolutely. So thank you very much for joining us, guys. I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And
it was great playing with you. Bye!